Greetings YouTube. Today we're looking at a Klein Tools Electrician's pocket knife. I wasn't even aware Klein Tools made a knife until I just saw it one day in the hardware store. And I shouldn't really be surprised by this, I guess, because they make a lot of tools, all of them geared towards electrical work of some variety. So this has got stripping notches in it. It's a 3 3/4 inch blade. It is, I don't know if they have little blurbs on here. Wire stripper, dual thumb stud, satin 440A stainless steel, drop point blade, liner lock, secured blade in open position, aluminum handles, and pocket clip. So what do you get? So this is the knife in question. It is a tip down carry, which is not my preferred. It is a single position pocket clip, and again, this is the 21st century. I think that's kind of a problem, and particularly because you could have had this on either side. If there's a real estate on this side for this, there would have been real estate on this side for that, and that would have made the knife more attractive to left-handed customers. Admittedly, they are the smaller portion of the population, but they still exist, and it's kind of nice if you do make a knife that can be approached by either right-handed or left-handed people equally. Dual thumb studs, they do not stick out too far, which is nice. I really don't like thumb studs when they stick out way too far. I've seen some particularly cheap knives when they stick out too far. I don't remember what I paid for this. But it wasn't a deal breaker. And here are the notches. You can see the shiny because this side is sharp, so you can put a wire in there, and then you can strip the wire easily with 3 different sizes. And it's got a open pillared construction with just straight pillars in here. It is, as advertised, a liner lock. Let's see if I can open this one-handed. No, come on a second. No, not quite. Can't quite flip this one. But it's the thumb stud still do open, and it's got a relatively pointy design. Drop point, but it still has a nice tip. It has a pronounced swedge here, which is nice and even, which is nice to see. I've seen a lot of knives that don't have well ground swedges. You have a hollow grind here with a secondary bevel, and I gotta tell you, I'm not a big fan of hollow grinds. I prefer a flat grind, as I think it gives you a far better cutting experience. I feel that a hollow grind tends to bite in and act as a wedge, as opposed to a flat grind with if you have a proper secondary bevel here, it tends to part the cut material you're cutting. But that's just me. Some people's experiences will vary. Torx pivot there, Torx fastener pivot, so you could loosen this up if you wanted to, but in the current position, it's nice and solid, both in wiggling back and forth and in the direction of the lock itself. Lock has a solid lockup right in there. There you go, nice solid lockup. It is got a little bit of jimping here on the liner lock, which is not aggressive. It's nice and well rounded, so it's not going to eat up your thumb, which is a nice feature. Nice close. The blade comes nice and centered. Can you get in there? There we go. Nice and well centered, which is also a feature. I've seen knives out of the box that were almost touching the liner on one side or the other. This is a fairly heavy knife. I was kind of surprised at that when I didn't notice it so much in the packaging. Once you have it closed and it's in your hand, so that all the weight is kind of right there in your palm like that, it does have a fair amount of heft to it, and I don't know if that would be an issue for some people in daily carry. It doesn't bother me a whole lot, but I'm not going to be carrying this particular knife because, again, it's a tip down, and it's not my preferred form of carry. But it is comfortable. You hold it, these cutouts here are quite comfortable. They fit the palm, your hand quite well, full 4-finger grip, and you got some to spare. No lanyard hole, which I kind of was surprised by, because I think if you're going to try to make this a usable tool, some people like to have a lanyard hole because they wanted something on there and they just do a drop in their pocket. If they want to take the clip off and just put this into the pocket of a work coat or something, this may not be something that's actually carried on a pocket edge with the clip. It may be used in a pocket proper. For example, I have a pair of is it Wrangler rugged jeans, which this would fit in. The pockets are huge. You could easily drop this into a pocket and not even notice it. It comes out of the package with a usable edge. Nothing, to write home about, but it's functional. You have a little bit of jimping here, and it's a little bit more aggressive, just slightly more aggressive than the jimping here on the liner lock. But it's not bad. So if you want to get in there with your thumb, and if you do want to do a scalpel tip, this right there can actually kind of act as some additional jimping. Though this is fairly sharp. It is designed for stripping wires. Now, the thing that I don't like about this knife, and I was kind of surprised by this, is that this is very smooth. There is zero texture on this thing, man. And if you have well calloused hands, which a lot of people that are going to be working with, who have lifelong careers in the trades could very well have, this is going to be very slick in your hand. I was very surprised by that. I would have thought they would have put some kind of a texture on here, because that, to my mind, is the biggest failure of this knife. It just has zero texture. It is far too smooth, in my opinion, for someone that's going to be using this who has calloused hands. And again, if you're in the trades, that's something that can very well be the reality that you're with. It is comfortable. Open easily with right or left hand because of the dual thumb studs. It's not all that southpaw friendly, but if you're into doing electrical work and you're looking for a pocket knife, this may be the one you want if you take into account that the scales are kind of smooth. I guess you can't have everything, right? But it's got nice fit and finish. It feels solid. And I've never really heard anybody complain about Klein tools. I own a couple of Klein tools myself, and they've always performed exactly the way they're supposed to. Klein tools are known for their quality, and I have no reason to believe that this would not be something that would wear well. Again, I'm not going to carry it because of the design features I mentioned, but if you are so inclined, get it, Klein, this may be a knife that could suit your needs.